So, I mean, like I've said before, it's not a big deal if someone has a verbal flub once in a while. It happens all the time. These moments of deer in the headlights.
With which one of
what's
them?
Going
it happens
on.
with both of them.
It does occasionally, but
Martha,
you can look at the polls, Philippe,
happen.
and the polls tell us that most people think that Donald Trump is more fit to run again. And you know as well as I do that, one 77 or 80-year-old is totally different from another in terms of their ability. And I'm literally just looking at what we're learning from the polls, right? 35% Trump is fit, but Biden is not. OK, and I could bring up a number of these in terms of who they think is fit. And it's really, I think, based on just how he performs when he gets up there. And also the fact, Philippe, that he doesn't sit down and just do regular interviews and into a Super Bowl interview. And it appears that the White House is a little bit nervous about putting him out there, fearful of what might happen.
In a wild push to facilitate Trump's never-ending talking point about mental fitness to serve, Fox's Martha MacCallum is just literally looking at what we're all learning from the polls. Except she forgot to look at what we're learning from the poll she was talking about, which showed a total of 55% of those asked said Trump isn't fit to be president. She could have held on to her point if she added the 32% of neither to the 35% that favors only Trump. But it's against the rules to acknowledge anything negative for Trump, even if it also makes Biden look bad.
Probably would make it, but to see his decline over the last few months, I don't think he'll make it. Just watched him yesterday walking on a tarmac in L.A. with Nancy Pelosi shuffling his feet, looking at the ground. I mean, we got to have some leadership in this country.
Looks like Tommy Tuberville's going to have to resign from the Senate because a random video of him busting his ass at the airport is conclusive evidence of being unfit. We really have whittled presidential races down to top 10 rankings and analysis of walking patterns when plenty of evidence about each of these presidents' time in office is there to analyze instead. But let's complain about rankings like we're on an episode of First Take, and the topic is top 10 NBA players of all time.
A new ranking, and I'm going to add, in my view, a highly questionable ranking of presidents, is turning heads after Biden came in higher than both Donald Trump and Ronald Reagan in his wildest dreams. The survey was done by the Presidential Greatness Project, who claim to be the foremost organization of social science experts in presidential politics. They may be the foremost example of the disconnect between ivory tower academia and real people. That aside, Abe Lincoln ranked first. Okay, fair. Then comes Obama at 7th, and Biden came in 14th, actually beating Ronald Reagan, who came in 16th, and Trump dead last. Look, Lisa, where to begin? This is infuriating in so many ways. 154 respondents. They are the ivory tower elites who in no way represent the view of the American people.
No, but it also goes to show you, though, how history can be written, and some of it can be built off a lie as well. But no, this list is bogus. Everyone knows that, Obama's not that high. He was a terrible president. But I think on this president, sorry, I think on this is just my thought bubbles. You don't want to know what goes on in here.
I'm still looking for some policies that would actually help the lives of tax-paying Americans that want their voices heard. Those conversations are void of details about how Trump's revenge tour would actually help people that aren't facing 91 felony counts over 4 criminal cases the way he is. So in case voters actually reject a criminal candidate, Trump world has to come up with some ways to indict our elections early and often.
If I am elected co-chair of the RNC, we are going to have out of control, like we've never seen in America, voter registration, legal ballot harvesting all over this country, a ground game like we have never seen before, election day operations, poll watchers in every polling location across this country. And we're not just going to poll watch. We have already seen that the RNC has started it, and we will continue doing this. Trained poll watchers. These are people who go in and actually physically handle the ballots. You can count every ballot coming in, so you know how many ballots go out. We are going to have to play this game so much better than the Democrats that we leave nothing to chance come November 5th. And I'll tell you something else we have to start doing. Early voting. I know we love one election day. We love paper ballots. We'd love everybody to have voter ID because that makes sense, doesn't it, in the United States? We may get back there one day. But we are not there today.
So while the Trump family plans to take over control of the RNC, their new idea to actually encourage more Americans to vote is probably exotic to conservative ears. But after years of telling Republicans that the system is run by Venezuela, they might have realized they have a problem. how they're going to convince their people to come out and participate in what they've always called a rigged system.
To use your word, something in the system is starting to go haywire. Is it going haywire enough to give you more confidence as you're running for Senate that this election, the primary and the general, should you get to it, is going to be fair?
Not fair, but I think what we're going to see is so many people pouring out to vote. It's going to be hard for them to keep up. It's going to be hard for them to keep up and pump in bogus ballots. So we'll see what happens. I just want to make sure everybody knows this is not the year to say, oh, woe is me. The elections aren't run well. I'm not going to vote. This is the year you double down and you vote. You go and vote like your life depends on it. We have to do that. You know, people who are starting to feel sorry for themselves, if anybody should feel sorry for themselves, it would be me. And I'm out with a fire in my belly to take back our country. And we all have to have that same energy at beast mode, okay? We're going beast mode, and we got to get out and vote.